Good morning, everyone. We had a GS paper 1 that has already been taken up by UPSC, and this time the paper that was asked, it is having a more generalized section. The questions that have been asked by UPSC, they are more generalized. Very easy paper appearing in the first go, but if you go into the details, if you delve into the depth of the paper, then you will be able to realize that each and every question is grilling you, is asking you on that particular aspect which is very generalized. It is given in NCERTs. It is something that is taught by every teacher who is teaching in UPSC. But the thing is that you need to write on certain aspects in such a manner so that you are able to compete nicely with your co-aspirants. So going through the questions, I will be focusing only on the questions of geography. So the first question of geography that has been asked over here is question number 4. And it says that how are climate change and sea level rise affecting the very existence of many island nations? Discuss with examples. Now, if you can recall, those who have attended my classes, if you can recall, we have discussed about the sea level change in multiple number of topics throughout a course of geography. Like primarily, if you can recall the section on corals. While explaining you about the corals, I was explaining you all about what Charles Darwin, the subsidence theory, then Murray, the standstill theory, glacial control theory by Daly. So Daly gave that the concept of ice ages and the warm ages. So what happens in ice age? The water gets evaporated and it deposited in the form of ice over the land area. During warm age, the ice starts melting and the sea level starts rising. That is discussed over there. What can be the other reason? Global warming, increasing global temperature consistently is one of the major reasons for sea level rise. So in this type of questions, how is the climate change and the sea level rise affecting the existence of the small islands? So initially you should give or say something about the reasons for the sea level rise. So the primary reason for the rise in the sea level is what? Melting of ice is one of the reasons. Then thermal expansion. Global warming is mentioned over here, climate change. So climate change is related to global warming. So what global warming is doing? It is resulting in thermal expansion. So due to thermal expansion, what is happening? The water is expanding and that is causing the rise in the sea level. So these two are the primary reasons. Apart from that, the surface runoff, the water that is moving from land to the ocean, the land to the sea, that is also causing an increase in the rise of sea level. Apart from that, the tectonic reasons are there, that is a vertical uplift and subsidence of the land on the coastal areas. So due to tectonic activity, if the land moves up or the land moves down, that is called as a vertical movement of the land, that also affects in the sea level rise. So initially you can, in short, you can write the reasons behind the rise in the sea levels, then you can come up to do a direct aspect of the question, how it is impacting the island. So what is the impact on island? What will happen by sea level rise? Coastal submergence will take place. Then salinization of water bodies, salinization of coastal sand will take place, coastal soil will take place. Then what will it will be harmful for the overall economy of the region. It will result in destruction of infrastructure, road, railways, that is whatever that is present on the coastal area will be affected by that. How economically it will be affected? The fishing, the biodiversity of the region, all the economic aspects of the region like tourism, that will be severely impacted by this particular phenomena, that is the sea level rise. Now it has been written that you need to discuss the same with suitable examples. So what can be the examples that you can give over here? The prominent example, our neighbor, that is Maldives. So Maldives is fighting this situation, and what is happening over there? Due to intrusion of the sea waves, due to intrusion of the sea water, what has happened? The freshwater resources of this particular region is affected by salinization. So that is a destruction of the freshwater resources. That is a problem that Maldives is facing. Another example you can give, if you are following current affairs, then Kiribati Island. Kiribati Island, that is present in the Pacific region. What is happening over there? Due to this increase in the sea level, the island is almost getting its reduction in the land area, and so it is bound to shift the population to other location. That can be mentioned over here. Then if you can go slightly back in current affairs, then Vanuatu Island. Vanuatu Island is one of the small island over there in Pacific only that approached United Nations General Assembly and finally International Court of Justice to provide a mechanism so that the responsibility for the sea level rise should be fixed over different countries. That will be suitable to write the examples. Apart from examples, how to conclude such an answer? In conclusion, you can write about the negative aspect, or you can write about that what are the mechanisms by which you can reduce that or slow down that global warming or slow down this particular sea level rise. That will be a very good and a balanced answer to this particular question. It is only a 150 worder and a 10 marker. The next question that has been asked by UPSC is over here, that what are non-farm primary activities and how are these activities related to physiographic features in India? Discuss with suitable examples. Again, I will like to take you back to my basic lectures of geography. When physiographic divisions of India are dealt with, then each and every part of physiographic division of India, how is it related to economy? How is it related to various type of economic activities that has been explained over there. Here UPSC has asked the question, what are non-farm primary activities? So what are non-farm primary activities? If you focus on the core aspects or the core material that each and every aspirant use for UPSC is or NCERT. NCERT class 12, in which you are having a chapter on primary activities. In those primary activities, non-farm primary activities are mentioned over there. So what are non-farm primary activities? How can you start from that particular aspect? You need to mention what are non-farm primary activities. So it will be which is not using agriculture. So non-farm agriculture is not practiced over there, or agriculture is not to be included over there. So it will be mining, quarrying, fishing, forestry can be there, then hunting and gathering can be there, then to some aspect, however it is written over there, non-farm. Pastoralism may or may not be included. It may be risky to write that, but you can also write that only relating it to animal rearing, livestock, right? But if that livestock is considered as a farm, then it will be difficult. So you can mention that, or you can even skip that. You can focus on mining, quarrying, fishing, forestry, hunting, gathering. These are non-farm and these are primary activities which are not involving any secondary or tertiary section. Then how are these activities related to physiographic features in India? Now each and every activity or a specific physiographic feature is known for what? So if we talk about the physiographic division of India, what is the physiographic features of India? Great Mountain Wall of the North, Great Northern Plains, then the Great Indian Desert, the Peninsula Plateau, coastal plains and ghats, that is eastern coastal plain, western coastal plain, ghats, and then you are having the islands of India. So as per NCERT, 6 physiographic divisions of India, and you need to relate these activities to those 6 physiographic divisions. So what can be the primary activity? That is non-farm on mountains. On mountains you can go for forestry. So forestry becomes one of the activities that is present on Great Mountain Wall of the North, that is on the Himalayas. Apart from that, forestry may also be practiced over Peninsula Mountain, that is of India, Satpura, Mahadev, Mackal, Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats. They will also be having forestry. Then forestry can be related to Northeast, that is the Purvanchal Mountains as well. So that will be the relation of physiographic feature, that is mountains, with non-farm primary activities. Then again with non-farm primary activities, the second geographical feature or the physiographic feature is northern plains of India. So while explaining you northern plains of India, I explained you about lower Ganga plain, middle Ganga plain, upper Ganga plain and trans Ganga plain. In that, one of the aspect is agroclimatic regions of India. If you go by the agroclimatic regions of India, then upper Ganga plain and the trans Ganga plain, that is a region over there which is, and the region of Rajasthan and Gujarat. So upper Ganga plain, trans Ganga plain, the region of Rajasthan and Gujarat, they are known for this herding of livestock. So livestock will go in that particular region, which will be again a non-farm primary activity, that is northern plains of India. Then if you have to discuss for coastal areas, so fishing will go with coastal areas. So the eastern coastal plain of India, western coastal plain of India primarily known for fishing, western coastal plain of India known for mechanized fishing, eastern coastal plain of India known for manual fishing. Then river valleys can also be included in this fishing, that is called as aquaculture. So various river valleys of India, north, south, peninsula, each and every region, the rivers are extensively used for fishing. So fishing can be related to this particular. Then you are having the aspect of non-farm mining and quarrying. So what are mining and quarrying? Mining and quarrying is for minerals, wealthy minerals, metallic minerals, Chota Nagpur Plateau region, Dharwad region, Odisha region, Chhattisgarh, Bastar Plateau region, sections of Karnataka. So what is that? Plateau region of India. One of the physiographic feature of India is Peninsula hills and plateaus. So the plateaus of India are known for mining, quarrying. What is mining and quarrying? Again, they are non-farm primary activities, can be related to plateaus of India. Then another feature we did for plateaus left is islands. So islands of India will be known for fishing. Plus, if you talk about Andaman and Nicobar Islands, they are known for forestry as well. So in this manner, you can relate the non-farm primary activities very easily with the physiographic features of India and suitable examples along with the examples for each and every location. Like if you can recall, you can mention the name of the tribes which practice a specific type of non-farm activity. If you can do that, if you can do that, it will be add on to this particular answer. Otherwise, simple example means each and every location along with the type of activity. How you can conclude this particular answer? You can conclude this particular answer by writing the negative aspects, or you can also write the economic aspects. So what can be the negative aspects over here? Like overgrazing is there, cutting of forests take place, deforestation take place. Due to overgrazing, what is happening? Soil erosion is getting exaggerated, soil degradation is taking place. All that can be added to conclude this answer, and then you can complete this answer very much in the word limit of 150 words. The next question that has been asked by UPSC in the section of geography is question number 6. Explain briefly the ecological and the economic benefits of solar energy generation in India with suitable examples. Now, solar energy, wind energy, continuously UPSC every second year, third year, it is giving you a question on energy section. Why? How can you start with this particular answer? You can mention about sustainable development goals relating to green energy, pollution, climate change, Paris Protocol, COP, Conference of Parties, anything related to that, you can start with that and give the importance of solar energy generation. Then why India has started International Solar Alliance. So you can write about International Solar Alliance. That can also be a very good start for this particular question. Now the question asks you briefly for the ecological and the economic benefit. Two sections are there. One is ecological and one the economic benefits of solar energy generation along with suitable example. You have to provide examples also. So what can be the ecological benefits of solar energy farm? Number one, the first benefit can be what? It can be like reduction in greenhouse gases. Then you can get cheap electricity by this. Pollution will not take place. Air quality index will be comparatively better because coal, thermal power plants, they deplete the air quality. Hydroelectric power, that is related to loss of marine biodiversity, fish, river ecosystem gets damaged by dams. So it can be, that can be the ecological benefits. What else you can think of ecological benefits? You can give write about solar photovoltaic floating plants. So when floating plants are established, then what happens? These solar panels are established over the water bodies. How it is helpful, how it can add to the ecological impact? It will reduce the evaporation of water. It will reduce the acidification of water by dissolution of atmospheric carbon dioxide in water, because the water surface will not be exposed bare to the atmosphere. Then what it will do? It will reduce or conserve water, it will reduce water pollution. Then how it will help solar panels over water surface? Water provides cooling effect to the solar panels and they are not excessively heated beyond a certain point, which becomes a problem on land. So that is the ecological benefit for floating plants. Then what can be the economic benefits of solar energy generation? Economic benefits, job creation will be there. You will get energy self-sufficiency, you will get energy independence, you will get cheap energy. So cheap energy can be connected to rural grids, so it will help in rural development. That can be given over there. What can be the examples you can quote over there? Like one of the largest solar plant in India, that is Bhadla Solar Park, that is in Rajasthan. You can cite that particular region as an example. Then you can mention for Ramagundam floating photovoltaic plant, that is in Telangana, that is one of the largest. Then you can write for Omkareshwar, that is under construction close to Mandhata Hills, under construction, and once constructed it will be one of the world's largest solar power plant, that is floating part, that is over there. You can write for this particular aspect. Then how will you conclude this particular answer? On conclusion, what you can write? You can write for government schemes supporting solar energy generation like PM Kusum. Right? You can write for PM Kusum. You can write for taking a clue from your prelims paper this year, PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana. Mention that, PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana. Then you can write for like PLI scheme, production linked incentive scheme, that is for PV module of solar cells, right? So that can be that will be a very balanced answer to this particular question, and you can write in this manner. Now the fourth question and the last question, that is the 10 marker for 150 words over here from the section of geography is, now it is a static question, more of a static, less of current affairs. What are tsunamis? How and where are they formed? what are their consequences? Explain with examples. In our classes of geography in plate tectonics, the last two questions have been asked this year from plate tectonics or related to that tectonic activity. One of the questions is this. In our classes of geography, when we take up the lectures on plate tectonics, in the section of convergence, I explain you about tsunami. I did that in all my classes. I explained you about tsunami, and the direct question has been asked that what are tsunamis. So you can start this question by giving a literal definition of tsunami or the literal meaning of the word tsunami. Tsunami stands for TSU. Tsunami stands for harbor. Su stands for harbor. Nami stands for waves. It is a Japanese term meaning harbor waves. What are tsunamis? Then how and where are they formed? How are they formed? So the reason for the formation of tsunami, the primary and the foremost reason for the formation of tsunami is earthquakes. So mega earthquakes taking place in submarine regions. So that can be one of the reasons. Another reason can be underwater or submarine volcanic eruption. So huge volcanic eruption in the underwater region. Then the third aspect can be heavy landslide in submarine region. So heavy landslide in submarine region. Then you can have another reason as direct tectonics, that is a convergence of the oceanic plate, subduction of one plate below another plate. Another reason can be a meteorite fall taking place on the surface of Earth, that is the oceanic region. But it is very rare, but even that can not be ruled out that it will not create tsunami. It may also generate tsunami. So they can be explained how and where are they formed. So in writing how, you will have to explain the mechanism, that how it will cause and where are they formed and what is exactly tsunami. The displacement of huge volume of water from one region of the ocean to another region, and when the gigantic waves traveling at a very high speed reaches the continental shelf, the height of the wave increases, the amplitude of the wave increases, the wavelength reduces, and it moves towards the coastal area as a succession, a series of waves like wall of water very high, destroying each and everything coming on its way and resulting in coastal flooding, movement of saline water over the coastal area. So that all has to be explained over here. How and where they are formed, that you can write for it. What are their consequences? Consequences is it will be harmful, it will be detrimental, it will result in heavy destruction on the coastal areas. Buildings will collapse, loss to life and property, salinization of soil over there, loss of agriculture, flood situation will be created over there, and it will be a catastrophic event for the coastal area experiencing tsunami. That can be the consequences. How to write the examples? Now the question paper has been asked on the first day of GS paper 1. 10th of August, a mega tsunami event took place. That was the region of Alaska. You can write that as an example. 10 days back, end of July, almost 30th of July, it was in Russia region. That led to the creation of tsunami waves in Kamchatka Peninsula region. Even USA and Japan were affected by that. Then you can give the example of, you are writing for UPSC Civil Services Main Examination India. You cannot miss India over here. So 2004 example of tsunami on the eastern coastal plain of India and the region. Where will you find that? Class 7th NCERT, it has been given in a box provided over there. The entire content for tsunami is written over there. You can simply mention that. You are not supposed to go into the details. For India, if you want to write, you can write that the Indian plate subducted below the Myanmar plate and it resulted in the coastal withdrawal of water and it was followed by the gigantic waves. Another example you can give for, if you want to give, Honga Tonga, that mega undersea volcanic eruption that took place in 2022 that resulted in the formation of tsunami. It was a mega event. So that is one of the examples that is remembered even up till now, because it was one of the largest volcanic eruption, undersea volcanic eruption. It was so very massive that the sound and the vibrations were felt even on the coastal area of California. South Pacific say it happened, affected even the region of California. So you can mention that. That will be sufficient to write in this particular answer. These are all 4 questions that have been asked by UPSC in the section of geography from 10 marks, that is 150 worder. Now we come to the section of 15 mark question, that is 150 worders. Give a geographical explanation of the distribution of offshore oil reserves of the world. How are they different from the onshore occurrences of oil reserves? The question is appearing very simple, but it is not that simple. And any aspirant who has attempted this paper and not focused on the language of the question is having a higher probability of making a mistake. Give a geographical explanation. It has explicitly mentioned that give a geographical explanation of the distribution of offshore oil reserves of the world. So you need to explain geographical reasons. Offshore oil reserves of the world are what? Which are away from the shore area. Not exactly on the coast, but in oceanic region. So why they are formed? What are the reasons? They are formed away from the coastal area. Why? Because they are formed where the sedimentary basins interact with the continental shelves or meet the continental shelves. So the sedimentary basins interaction zone with the continental shelves are the location for having offshore oil reserves. Then how are they formed? They are formed in geological structures like anticlines are there, domes are there, which are called as structural traps, which are formed as a result of tectonic activity, folding, faulting, rifting, crustal movement up and down. That results in the formation of these structural traps. Within these, you get the formation of these offshore oil reserves. How they are formed? They are formed by deposition and accumulation of organic matter, dead organic matter, algae, microorganisms over the period of time under sedimentary rocks. Then impermeable rock, huge temperature and pressure for a very long period of time transforms into oil reserve. That is, offshore oil reserves are present over there. Then you need to give the location of the offshore oil reserves. So offshore oil reserves are present where? Middle East. Middle East is having both. Onshore is also there, offshore is also there. So you can give the example of Middle East, then Gulf of Mexico, North Sea, Gulf of Bohai can be given, then Niger Delta, that region can be given, Venezuela can be given over there, North Sea can be given over there. All these will be the examples. How are they different from the onshore occurrences of oil reserves? Now, onshore occurrences of oil reserves, you need to make the difference between them in terms of geographical explanation. Again, so you need to explain how onshore reserves were formed actually. So you will write that like offshore oil reserves are formed in those regions which were deltas of the rivers, which were continental shelves, which were now covered by sedimentary rocks. They are offshore reservoirs. In the same manner, even the onshore occurrences, the region which are having presence of oil onshore, like Digbo in Assam, right? So where Dukhan in Qatar, Ras Tanura in Saudi Arabia. So these are onshore. If they are onshore, so why they are formed? They are also formed in those regions which were during geological history of Earth, they were also submerged regions. They were like geosynclines, or they were the regions which were having submerged continental shelves. They were the parts of river deltas where this same process of accumulation of dead organic matter, algae, microorganisms has taken place over the period of time, and later on it converted into fossil fuels. Due to continuous movement of plates, these regions are now well part and parcel of the continental shelf, and so they are called as onshore occurrences. So that can be explained over there, and then you can give the examples for onshore. Like for offshore, multiple examples are there. For onshore, also like Dukhan is there in Qatar, Ras Tanura, Al Ahmadi, Kuwait. You are having, these are all onshore. Then you are having Agazari in Iran, Banda, you are having Ahvaz in Iran, that you can give for onshore. Same Middle East region, if you have to give the example for offshore, which are not on the coastal area, then you can write about Zakum, that is in UAE. Now you are having Marjan, that is in Saudi Arabia. They are also the examples for offshore oil reserves. Then what you can write? Now this is as per the geographical explanation, and it is a 250 worder. After writing this geographical explanation, you will also be writing over here about the contemporary issues. So what are the differences between offshore and onshore? Offshore will be more technical, it needs more technical know-how, expensive technology, costly mechanism to extract the material from there. It is risky, it will create a problem of oil spill over there, loss to marine biodiversity, but at the same time offshore oil reserve will be having less impact on human settlements. Onshore oil reserve will be having what? It is cheaper, easy to establish, simple pipelines can be placed over there. Horizontal fracturing is the technique that is used over there. It is comparatively cheaper, but here also you will be having air pollution, water pollution, arsenic, lead, nitrate will infiltrate down to groundwater, but apart from that it will be having more impact on human settlement in terms of pollution, in terms of negative aspect. That will be very good to conclude this particular answer, writing about their economic aspects and their overall impact. This will be your 250 worder. This much content will be sufficient to answer this particular question. Next question that has been asked by UPSC is question number 16 in the section of geography. Discuss how the changes in the shape and sizes of continents and ocean basins of the planet take place due to tectonic movements of the crustal masses. A very basic and elementary question, a static question. It has been explained by me in every batches in plate tectonics that what exactly plate tectonics is. So here you have to write about the changes in the shape and sizes of the continent and the ocean basin plates that can lead due to tectonic movements of crustal masses. So simply start with plate tectonics. What is plate tectonics? Write about divergence, convergence and transform. So in divergence, what you will write? You will write about oceanic divergence, or splitting of the continents takes place, increasing of the ocean basin takes place, divergence of the seafloor splitting takes place, and new material moves out that results in the formation of new type of geological structures which are ridge and rise over there. So we will write about shape and sizes of the continent. So mid-oceanic ridges are formed, Atlantic Ocean, you can give the example. Inverse Y-shape ridge in Indian Ocean. East Pacific rise can be example for that. That is oceanic divergence. Then you come to convergence. In convergence, you will be writing first of all oceanic continental convergence. So it results in the formation of fold mountains. So Andes are formed over there. It results in the formation of trenches. So Peru, Chile trench over there. It results in the formation of volcanoes. Cotopaxi, Chimborazo volcanoes over there. So Nazca plate colliding with South American plate resulting in oceanic continental convergence. Then you can write for oceanic convergence. So it results in the formation of volcanic island arcs. It will form undersea volcanoes will be formed. So Japan island and trench, Kuril Island and Trench, Aleutian Island and Trench, Philippines Island and Trench, Mariana Island and Trench. Number of examples can be cited over there for oceanic convergence. What else can be there? It can be continental convergence, that is doubling of crust will take place. Due to doubling of crust, what will happen? You will get the formation of very high fold mountain, which happened in case of collision of Indian plate with the Eurasian plate, and hence we are having the formation of Himalayas. So Himalayas formed as a result of that can be given in oceanic convergence. You can write about how the changes in shape and size. You can start from Pangaea. Pangaea broke off, Gondwana land, Angara land, current shape of ocean and continent, that is all due to plate tectonics, due to the movement of crustal masses, how they have evolved. You can simply mention about the theories also, like convectional current theory of Arthur Holmes, provide the driving mechanism for the movement of plates, and plate tectonics explains the change in the shape and sizes of the continents over the period of time. Then you can write about the transform boundary. So transform boundary will form what? Types of faults will be formed. You will be having transform faults, normal fault, reverse fault, strike slip fault, dip slip fault, oblique slip fault. You can write for that. If you don't want to write or you are not able to recall so many types of fault, simple faulting by transform boundary resulting in the formation of rift, block mountains. That will be a testimony, that will be an example to this particular aspect. The examples for block mountain you can give over there, that will be sufficient to write this particular answer. What you can add or how you can conclude this particular answer, something, this is static part, everyone will be writing. How you can make your answer look slightly different, you can write about the impact of this movement of continents over a period of time. So you can write about change in climate, climatic aspect, जो वेगनर ने पढ़ाया, climatic aspects. You can write about ecological aspect. You can write about evolution of various species, both flora and fauna. How this drift of continent has resulted in evolution. That can be a point that can be added a single line, not big conclusion, a single line to provide a summation or the impact of this movement of shapes and changes in the shapes and size of continent. How is it impacting the ecology, environment and evolution of organism? That will be sufficient to explain this particular answer. Now the last question that has been asked by UPSC in paper 1 from geography is, discuss the distribution and density of population in the Ganga river basin with a special reference to land, soil and water resources. So land, soil and water resources. Now Ganga river basin, it is one of the regions which is having a very high population. It is commonly said that whenever you have to talk about maximum population density in which river basin? Ganga river basin. So how this land, soil and water resources have played their role? Land, it is a monotonous land, featureless plain, level land. So very ideal location for settlement, featureless plain, development of roadways, railways, settlements, buildings, structures, very easy. So people prefer this particular region. How soil supports that? Presence of alluvial soil, very suitable for agriculture. It is one of the most suitable soil that is used for agriculture. Dominance of agriculture, agrarian economy. So during ancient times, people were dependent on whatever they used to practice. So dependent on produce. So it became one of the primary reasons for settlement of human population, not now only, since ancient times. How water resources support that? Ganga river system. All the tributaries of Ganga which are coming from the north, they are perennial. They are snow fed as well as rain fed. So that maintains the perennial nature of river over there. So entire Ganga river system, all the tributaries, Ramganga, Gomti, Ghagra, Gandak, Kosi, Chambal, Yamuna, Sindh, Betwa, Ken, Banas, Kali Sindh, Parvati, Ajay, Damodar, each and every river adds to the water composition of this particular region. It is fresh water, so fresh water is not a constraint. Land is flat, and you are having the soil that is suitable for agriculture. That makes this particular region, or provided synergy to this particular region as a major hub for human settlement, and that adds to the region of distribution and the density of population in Ganga river basin, right? This is one particular aspect. Then you have to write, you can write what you can write, you can add negative aspect. What is the negative impact of this? So excessive population, excessive pressure on natural resources. So depletion of underground water table maximum in this particular region only. Salinity of soil due to overuse of fertilizer, due to over practice of agriculture, this region only. Soil degradation over here only. Are you getting that? So that it can be added to this particular aspect. What else you can add over here? You can add over here about further that if any of these factors is missing or slightly less performing, the population is not dense, the population is not properly distributed in that particular region. You can give the example of Rajasthan region. Land is not suitable, it is having sand is present over there, soil is not suitable, water is not available in plenty amount, so the population is scattered, dispersed. Then what else you can write? What you can add on? Flood prone regions. All those regions of the Ganga basin which are prone to flood are not having the existence of population, because every year flood comes, so people are not residing in that particular region. Then there are certain regions in this Ganga basin only which are prone to drought. So drought prone areas are again having less density, less distribution of population, that has to be written over there. Why I am discussing that? The distribution and density of population in the Ganga river basin with special reference to land, soil and water resources. UPSC is not asking you that, or not telling you that this region is having more distribution and density of population. It is asking you about the distribution and density of population. So over density, high density, excessive population, everyone will be writing that. You have to write the other aspect also, that which regions or why certain regions of this Ganga river basin is less in density, is having less distribution of population because of these aspects: flood, droughts, or lack of availability of suitable nature of soil, land and water. This will be a very good answer to summarize. How will you conclude this particular answer? Again, writing about the negative aspects of what steps should be taken by the government and the public at large to prevent the region from getting depleted and maintain the sustainability of the region for the ages to come. Right? With this, we come to the end of our discussion of all the questions, those 7 questions that have been asked by UPSC in this year GS paper 1. Thank you. Good day.